Hey, are you a Minnesota first-time homebuyer looking for down payment assistance programs? If that sounds like you've come to the right place. Throughout the state of Minnesota, there are down payment assistance programs up to $60,000 that can really help. Down payment assistance programs come in a variety of shapes and sizes. The source of those are sometimes from national sources, most commonly from state sources, and then also from community sources. I'll put a link in the description below about the Minnesota Housing Finance Agency. I have a whole video on that set of programs, which is by far the most common in Minnesota. Down payment assistance programs up to $18,000 that are always available and have very liberal qualifying parameters. And the great thing about those state programs is that they can be layered with other kinds of programs, including some of the city and county programs that we're going to talk about today. Now, when we talk about community down payment assistance programs, by that I mean there are various counties or cities or sometimes even neighborhoods that offer down payment assistance programs from time to time to attract new home buyers to their community. And these programs can be outstanding. They can be more than what the Minnesota Housing Finance Agency offers. They can be $20,000, $30,000, even up to $60,000. And when we start talking about those kind of loan amounts, it has a significant impact on your monthly payment. Now, a few things that you definitely need to know about community programs. One is that just because there is a Washington County down payment assistance program doesn't mean that there is one for Dakota County. It's not like that. These programs are scattered around the Twin Cities. And the second thing you need to know is that they come and go. So sometimes a community will have a program available for years and then suddenly it disappears. Or a community has never had one and suddenly it has one. And thirdly, even if they do have it now, the question is, how long will it be funded? So these programs have a limited amount of resources. They offer it as a package, and it's typically on a first come, first served basis. So if you are interested in the Shoreview down payment assistance program, we need to make sure that, number one, that program is still around. Number two, that the guidelines have stayed the same. And number three, do they even have money at this time? There are times when they might have just run out of money, but I contact them and they say, we're expecting a new set of funds 6 weeks from now. So the earlier you are in contact with a lender that deals with these, the more ready you will be to utilize those funds in the course of your home purchase. Now, something you should know is that almost all of these are loans. They're not grants. So as loans, that means you need to pay them back. Sometimes they are 0% interest and 0 monthly payments, but you need to pay it back once you sell the house or once you refinance the house. Or in most cases, if you get the money in order to occupy the home and then you vacate the house and you rent it out, sometimes you need to pay it off in that kind of circumstance as well. So you really need to study and understand what the benefits and limitations are of each of the programs. While we call them down payment assistance, they're really entry cost assistance. And by that I mean the money can be used towards down payment and or closing costs. Now, all of these community-based programs will have maximum income limits, and each program will calculate those income limits in different ways. And in almost all cases, they change every year as the area median income changes from year to year. So who are these down payment assistance programs for? They are for first-time home buyers in almost all cases, although there are a few that I have seen that will also work with move-up buyers. So it's always worth asking, but primarily designed around first-time home buyers who have a need based on income. So it's designed to make homeownership more affordable for those buyers. It's also designed to help buyers who qualify to buy a home in every other way except for having saved enough for a down payment. You know, I'll get calls from buyers sometimes who are in the middle of a bankruptcy or they've lost their job and now they want to get assistance to buy a home. But at least during my career, I have not experienced that type of assistance available. Down payment assistance programs have expectations of the buyer that they can qualify and repay the mortgage. They really want to help a first-time homebuyer become successful as a homeowner. Now, some of the cities that commonly offer down payment assistance are Woodbury and Shoreview and Eden Prairie and Bloomington and Richfield, amongst many others. I've got a link in the description below of all of the down payment assistance programs that I've done videos on, which there are many. But the other thing is that once we are working through a pre-approval, that's a good thing for us to talk about right away. Hey, I'm looking in such and such a area around the Twin Cities. That helps me focus in terms of, hey, has there ever been a program available in that market? And is there one now? And do they have funds? And if they don't have funds, when will they have them again? So realistically, it's about a conversation that you are having with your lender early in the process. This is not something that you decide on after you have a purchase agreement, because it takes longer for you to get through this process. With down payment assistance programs, your loan, generally speaking, has to be underwritten by the mortgage lender, but then after that's done, it has to be underwritten by the community program. So there again, the earlier we're talking about it, the better that you can plan for it. So it's for first-time homebuyers who have a need, whether it's just slightly too low of an income or just slightly too little in terms of assets. That's where down payment assistance programs can really benefit first-time homebuyers. It's also for a buyer who is not necessarily in a hurry, for two reasons. One is whether that community has a program, whether that community has financing available, but also when you make an offer on a property, you really need to schedule more time from application to closing because it has to go through those two underwriting processes. When it comes to down payment assistance, the state of Minnesota and the Minnesota Housing Finance Agency is definitely reliable. That money is always there. When it comes to community programs, it's there quite often, but it's a matter of timing. You have to be in the right place at the right time in order to take advantage of that financing. And it really means the earlier that we start your pre-approval process, the earlier we can determine, hey, are you qualified for Minnesota Housing Finance Agency assistance and for an additional program that's in your community? And if we want to combine those assistance programs, what do we have to do in order to get there? We need the pre-approval application in order to figure that part out. My name is Peter Lindquist. Thanks for taking the time to be with me today.
We will get you home.